I'm the gym. Hello, Thomas. Hope you had a good Christmas.
Well, yes. I've a little bit of the lurgy, nothing COVIDy. So if I do have a little bit of a cough, like I did then, that is why. Apart from that, it's a joy being woken up at 4:53 on Christmas morning.
Love it. All right. So if Tom disappears for whatever reason, we know that something's not quite going well for him. So look, guys, we're going to roll in. This is hold on, I've got some virus security coming up. Maybe my computer's like a little bit run down. We're going to roll in with how not to waste your time in the gym. Look, we wanted to talk about this because we've both been to the gym over the Christmas period. In fact, I literally got in about 5 minutes ago. And it's busy. My gym today and yesterday is the busiest it's been. Probably the busiest I've ever seen it since I've been back at that gym for over a year now. So it's starting to get busy. And what we want to do is just talk about, how not to waste your time in the gym. Because if you're going, like anything, you want to get results. So hopefully we'll cover that for you. As always, likes, shares, comments are massively appreciated.
Yeah.
How was it for you when you had your first session? You said your gym was busy, right?
I went in. I knew it was busy before I went in because the car park was busy. And during the day, it's not usually many people in there, so I was expecting it a bit. It feels early for that busy kind of time. But it's do you know what? At the end of the day, it's good to see people investing in their health and going, do you know what? I'm going to use this facility that's available to me to work on my body and my health. But like you, kind of like our title is, we've worked in gyms and we speak to people who've tried to use gyms, and we see a lot of mistakes. Maybe the right mistakes.
I think that's fair to say. Mistakes and just not training effectively. I always like the saying, best bang for your buck. Like with anything in life, you're like, if you're buying a new car, you want to get your best bang for your buck. If you've got your energy crisis going on, you want to get your best bang for your buck. So if you're in the gym, you want to get the best bang for your buck. You want to be utilizing that 45 minutes or an hour to get the best result possible.
Yeah. And like we were talking yesterday about utilization of gym memberships. The gym I used to work at, I think it was around about 20%, I guess, about 20% of the people who had the gym membership were active members of the gym. And that's a lot of people not using their memberships. So we want to make sure that if you are signing up and you are going to use that space, then you have to be using it. And I think sometimes when people stop using it, there's a number of different reasons why. And I guess one could be that maybe they're not getting results, or maybe they don't feel like they're getting results. They don't feel like they're getting anywhere. Now, we know that if you're going from no exercise to some exercise, you are definitely going to be improving.
100%.
Definitely. But maybe sometimes that progress, if it doesn't arrive, or you don't see it, or then maybe that you don't feel it, maybe that is a reason why people kind of fall off. And I'm sure people watching know that busy time in the gym only lasts, 3 weeks, maybe, I guess.
I'd say 3 weeks. 4 weeks tops. Probably 4 weeks tops.
Yeah. And then it's back to the normal people that we see every week.
Yeah, and to be fair, like obviously the gym's busy that I went to today and yesterday, but I didn't see a huge amount of new faces. I've seen quite a few people getting like tours around, so I think it's going to get busy. But I think the people that are in there right now are the people that are normally quite committed anyway, and they've got a little bit of time off. So it's like I might as well get in the gym and train. I didn't see that many. I saw a few, and the few I did notice because I'm probably like exactly like you in the gym. Like I observe people just it's the old personal trainer in me. Like I still observe like technique, and there was this guy in there today, and he just looked a little bit lost. He was quite a young guy, and I don't know if it was his first experience at the gym or you could clearly see he'd had no technique, like no training, like no one's shown him what to do, how to use it. And I just thought, if this guy does that for the next 6 months, a year, like he might be committed, but he's not really going to get anywhere because the exercises he's doing aren't effective. He's also risking a little bit of injury. And the chance are he probably won't be there in 6 months to a year because he won't have made any progress because the technique's not right. So it's so important to invest a little bit of time in learning the right techniques to be effective, because otherwise you're probably going to be like that guy who's going to be like, oh, I've been training now for 3 months and nothing's changed.
Yeah.
But he's doing the right thing because he's in the gym.
Exactly. It's just making sure that you know you're moving forward. We are results driven creatures, and we want to see results. We want to tick things off. We want to see progress. Otherwise, it does feel like it's not getting anywhere, and that is why people give up. Another thing I see regularly is the kind of the treadmills getting busy, and quite often that's one of the not favorite place, maybe not favorite places, but that's maybe a bit of a comfort zone for people because it's you know what to do, don't you? You just step on, you turn it on, off you go, you walk, and
there's less risk of almost feeling a little bit embarrassed or uncomfortable. You know where you are. Most like everyone can walk on a treadmill or use the cross trainer. I think it's definitely a comfort zone. I'm sure you've seen that of your clients in the past. I certainly have. Yeah. I've never really had the confidence to lift weights. I've never really had the confidence to go on the resistance machine. So go in half an hour on the treadmill.
Yeah, and again, I know I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going on the treadmill for half an hour, but if that's all you do, then that gets pretty boring pretty quickly. And again, we observe and I look and I see lots of people looking not looking like they're enjoying themselves, really plodding away on the treadmill for a few weeks and not going anywhere. So it's nothing wrong with using it, but if it's that kind of comfort zone of I'm not sure. And again, maybe it just comes back to being confident that you know what you're doing, confident you know you've got a plan, confident that you know that you're progressing with that plan, or you know what to do if you don't progress as well.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, it's great if someone is in and they're doing cross trainer, treadmill, whatever that cardio is, because it's better to do that than nothing, 100%. Like that saying, it's better to be effective than right. So whatever you can do that's going to get you in the gym 2, 3, 4 times a week, if that's a walk in the treadmill or cross train, that's definitely great. The problem is you're just more or less burning calories, and it's a lot of hard work for little reward. So, I mean, you could do, I don't know, like let's just say 20 minutes on the cross trainer, and if you went for it, a good amount of calorie burns, probably like 200. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's like a beer.
Yeah, it's not.
That's one beer, and even like not even like a strong beer. A strong beer is like 240 calories. I know this, by the way, because I drank a lot of beer over Christmas. It's a lot of work to burn off one beer or whatever your thing is. It's probably the equivalent to like, I don't know, 3 or 4 celebrations. That's the thing with cardio is like you don't burn that many calories, so you can easily do that 20 minutes. Burn 200 calories, and as soon as you walk out of the gym, especially at Christmas time, eat 4 celebrations. That hard work's gone.
Yeah, and that can be
really depressing.
Yeah, it can be pretty soul destroying. Again, if you're hoping that that's going to be the thing that's going to fix it and fix the situation, then that's a hard pill to take. And that again, that's kind of feeds into why people give up.
Yeah, and also I think I was thinking about this morning actually. I think. What did gyms probably originally get invented for? It probably was for people to lift weights.
I think it was like a niche. I remember talking to
so like movie stars. I don't know, probably like movie stars and people that wanted to look a certain way. It was more about muscle building. I think gyms were originally brought in, and then of course you need some cardio. So if you actually break it down, it's not the best place to actually lose weight. We all know that, and if you don't know this, food is by far the biggest lever when it comes to losing weight. And also what you're doing outside the gym. Because again, you can have a personal training session, which is great and should be like correcting your technique, making sure you've got a plan to move forward, feeling like you're confident on the machines. That's an hour. That's an hour. What about the other 72 hours in a week? They're the most important. And then you bring the food side of things in. So I think that's not that the gym work's not important, but it's the other stuff that's so important, because it's almost like you do that hard work unless you maximize it with the right food, the right habits outside gym, sleep. You just basically just going up, you just going through like mud, really.
Yeah, certainly. I kind of almost certainly at the beginning if a client joins up and their goal is to lose some weight, it's almost like separating the exercise from the diet and saying, exercise is fantastic. It's like the magic pill for your body to keep it healthy and working and moving and
Yeah.
longevity, and muscle mass is the biggest indicator of early
Reducing
death.
stress.
Yeah, stress
mood.
levels and all that stuff. But if we're going to lose weight, it's got to be food. If you're coming out of Christmas thinking I need to lose, this is my year and I need to lose some of those pounds which have been on there for a while, you've got to look at your diet, and sometimes that can be a hard pill to swallow as well. I remember trying to lose weight and thinking, I know I need to look at my diet, and I held off for quite a long time, almost like stubbornly.
Yeah, because your brain wants you to say, it's not my diet.
Yeah.
If I if I run a little bit more, because that's in our brain, that's like, it's probably just a nicer thought, isn't it? Oh, if I just do a bit more exercise, if I go for a run, and chances are people in their 20s might have been able to get away with that a little bit more. So as you get that little bit older, you absolutely have to look at your diet, and you also pretty much, I would say, have to be doing resistance training in the gym, whether that's your own body weight or free weights or just resistance machines, because as guys, especially we get older, our testosterone goes down, our metabolism slows down, our muscle mass goes down, which means we don't naturally burn as many calories. So you've got to be lifting weights to get all those things back up. Otherwise, again, you just like waddling through mud.
Well, is it beyond 30? You lose 10% of your muscle mass every year, every 10 years.
Yeah,
is that the kind of?
I think that's pretty much the stats. Yeah.
If you do nothing about it, yeah, and like I said, muscle mass is the biggest indicator of early death. I mean, if you're not able to physically move yourself about, then a lot of things get very, very difficult. And they're almost like little engines, aren't they? They're kind of burning energy, aren't they? If you've got a kind of a higher lean muscle mass, you tend to kind of your body using more calories, just kind of getting around during the day, and that's going to help with that weight as well.
Yeah, of course, and it makes sense as well, because if you've got that muscle mass and you've got you're burning calories naturally, you've also got higher energy levels. Because I think what's really important, what I've realised, I'm sure you're the same over the last few years, is that people sort of say they lack motivation, discipline, and things like that, which is really important. I think discipline is way more important than motivation. No one's motivated. I wasn't motivated to go to the gym this morning. I was disciplined. I said I'd go. But I think if your energy levels are low, there's no way you're going to want to go to the gym. There's no way you're going to want to eat the healthy breakfast or the lunch. There's no way you're going to want to do all the habits and things that move you forward. So I think energy levels are absolutely fundamental. And going in the gym and just doing like 10 or 15, 20 minutes of cross train or treadmill, as much as it's great, it's probably not going to shoot up your energy levels that much. It's not going to speed up your metabolism. Certainly not going to help you with any muscle mass.
No. So again, what can we give people? What kind of plan? So I've got a few ideas in terms of to make sure people kind of aren't wasting their time.
Yeah, look, we always want to give you guys some points to take away to like implement, so it does move you forward. So one of the first things that I would say is that like invest a little bit of money and get a program, whether that's like an online coach or a personal trainer in the gym. What I think is really important, when I first went to the gym, I got someone to write me a program. Being honest, I still didn't really know what I was doing. The names of the machines and the exercises are all just like foreign language when you're new. But I gradually got better. I gradually got more used to what I was doing. I gradually got more comfortable. And I went back to him and said, like, do you mind giving me a hand on this? So I'd invest some time to get a program to learn the correct technique, and also make sure that the exercises you're doing, you feel comfortable going in and doing on your own. Because it's great when the personal trainer's there and they're getting you to do deadlifts and squats. But if you're not going to go in on your own and do those, that's the time. That 1 hour with the trainer is great, but what about the 3 or 4 other times when you've got to go in there? So make sure whatever you're doing, you're going to be comfortable enough to do on your own, because that's when it's most important, not just when your trainer's there. So learn the technique, so when you can go in, you feel confident. You're not that dude just like that in the gym. What's that meme? What's the meme? The drug lord. The meme that goes around.
Escobar.
You're just not just sitting there on your own, just going. Yeah. Because you see that's that dude this morning. He just looks so lost. So get a plan, learn the technique, and make sure you're comfortable doing what you're doing.
Yeah, and like I said, like one thing I think is important is certainly the beginning is having that plan that you can tick off. And then, like you said, I see it regularly. People walk into the gym and there's no purpose, and they walk in and they go, what shall I do today? Oh, I'll pick up some dumbbells, and I've seen people do that. I'll do that. But if you think about we are results driven, and we like ticking things off. And if you go in with a workout and you go, right, I've got my workout, I'm going to go warm up over there, then I'm going to sit there and I'm going to do my 3 sets of 10. I'm going to do my reps. I'm going to tick them off. Oh, and I'm going to add on a couple of kilograms this week onto my weight that I've used. And it's like, do you know what? I can see progress. I don't have to. It don't have to be based on how I feel, whether I feel stronger today, because tomorrow you might feel really strong and the next day you might feel really, really weak. And that's just a fact of kind of working out. That's what happens. Yeah. But you can look at it and go, do you know what? In the last 4 weeks, because I've tracked it, I've done this. So when you get to February, the first week of February, you're one of the only people that's carried on because you've got a plan and you've seen progress. And you thought, do you know what? This progress, I've progressed doing this. And maybe if I can progress this much in 4 weeks, in a year's time, if I stuck at it, what could I achieve in a year's time?
Yeah, 100%. And also that looks good to reflect on. I use the app Strong, and it's I've been using it since the first or second lockdown. I can't quite remember. And it's got every single one of my workouts in the history, so I can always reflect and go back to those. But also does this cool little bar chart of how many sessions I've had each week, and then over the month, and then since I've used it the last 2.5 years, it's told me how many workouts I've had. I've got this cool little bar chart. So imagine you've done that and you've not been going to the gym for a while, but you've done that for 2 months, and you've seen that you've gone 3 to 4 days a week, and you've each week you've gone a little bit heavier. You've done it. Say you're doing press ups and you can only do 10, and now 2 months down the line you can do 50. You're like, this is working. I feel stronger. And everyone likes to get stronger. Everyone does. We all like to feel like we're getting stronger.
I've never met somebody who doesn't enjoy that feeling. Because strength is capability in life. If you are strong, you are capable at doing stuff. It's in my life, I'm regularly reminded at how useful it is to be strong and supple and capable. Just lifting something, I don't know.
When you start putting all your bags of shopping in all at once.
Yeah, I feel like a man.
Yeah, exactly. I will not go back for another bag.
Yeah,
like you got the missus like, load me up.
Exactly. More, I want more. but kind of, it is just that, it's that capability, and you don't have to suddenly start limit. I would never. There will come a time in my life when I'll have to physically limit myself with things and go, do you know what? I can't physically do that. I know that will happen. But at 42, I don't want that to be now. I want to be able to go, do you know what? I'll give that a go. I'll give that, I'm not sure I mentioned, there's like a water park near us. And I love going on it partly because I can do it all. And maybe it's a little bit of male kind of ego, but I enjoy the fact that I can physically do it. And I'm not boasting. Very few other people can do it all at my age. And
I need to come and visit that water park. I'm up for it.
You have to.
Come in. You know what? As well, like you are aware of, like there become a day when some of the things you want to do, you just won't be physically capable of doing, and that's the reality. So why not push that as far away as possible? Yeah. Push that as far away as possible. You know, like. I try and have as strong as mindset as possible, and I think like mental strength of training, of doing hopefully a lot of the right things in your health. I think it helps to have that mindset, because you do need a discipline, and if you all have a healthy body, that can't be bought, begged, borrowed, or stolen. Like you have to do that. Like even people complain about the movie stars that get personal trainers. Yeah, of course, and they get the best chefs and everything. They still got to do the training.
Yeah.
They have to physically go out and train and eat probably all the foods that they absolutely hate eating. Of course, it's a big pay packet at the end of it. But everyone has to do the work. You can't get to that healthy body in any other way. And that increases your mindset and mental strength, which is really important for other aspects of your life. I always think training is definitely a metaphor for life. Because you can sit in your comfort zone and not really get results, or you push those extra reps, you push out your comfort zone. That's when you get the strength, and that's when you get the benefits. Same as life.
Yeah, no, definitely. Another thing I see people doing in January is going a bit too much, and maybe setting themselves to fail a little bit. I'm motivated. I'm excited. It's January. I'm going to join the gym, and they go in the gym, and they've got all the new gear, and they feel great. And the first week, I'm going to go 5 times this week. I'm going to go in. I'm going to really smash it. And 5 times is I mean, I don't go to gym 5. I probably go maybe 4 times, but I don't kind of go hell for leather every single time.
Yeah, I mean, I do a minimum of 3. I count 4, and if I do 5, massive bonuses. Minimum of 3. That's it.
Yeah, and if you're going from a standing start, especially, it's like no, there is no need or no reason to think, right, I'm going to go from 0 to 100 miles an hour straight away. You don't need to do that. It's got to be like, what can I realistically easily get in now? And that's the thing, isn't it? And if you get in the route, if you get your membership, just getting the membership's a good step. Then going, do you know what? I can realistically, easily, I can go. I've chatted to my partner, I've got the kids sorted out, work and all that. I'm going to go. I can go twice a week, and I can do that, and I can realistically do it week in, week out. Brilliant. Nail those sessions for a couple of weeks and see where you're at. If you're finding them easy, then add in another one. Don't go in there on Monday and think, right, I'm going to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's going to be me for the rest of my life, because that you will find it too hard and you will fail, and you don't need to do it.
And also being realistic, if you're going in January, you're probably at the worst place, tired, lethargic, thinking, God, I'm here again. I'm here again. It's Groundhog Day again. Like, you know, you've probably eaten too much and drunk too much, which I did at Christmas. I admit that. Like, those 2 gym sessions today and yesterday were tough. So you're going in at probably the worst point, and then you're trying to maybe do 4 or 5 sessions a week when maybe you haven't trained for 6 months. The reality of that is you're going to fail, because you're going to ache like fuck. You're going to be going, you're going to ache like fuck, let's be honest. Yeah. You're going to be going, I used to be able to lift this, I used to be able to do that. So you're beating yourself up, and it's just not a good place to be. Whereas if you're realistic and go, do you know what, I'll go twice a week. That's it. I'll commit to that. Get to the end of the week, probably not be aching so bad, be like accepting, I feel good, and then move on to the next week.
Yeah, and if you fast forward that, rather than think about this is the next few weeks and my New Year resolution of doing this, thinking about this is me looking after myself for my life, and if you fast forward it into a year's time, if you're still going to the gym twice a week and working hard and progressing, you would have made so much progress in that year. I mean, an unimaginable amount of progress compared to where you are now. Better than kind of if you hadn't done it.
Well, yeah, because if you just done some simple maths, let's just say, just for easy maths, you went the first 4 weeks, because by the way, guys, just for easy maths, it's easy for me. So say you do the whole of January 4 times a week for those 4 weeks. That's what, like, was like 16 sessions, right? But then you give up at the end of January and you don't go for the rest of the year. That's those 16 sessions done. But then if you just done twice a week, so that's 8 times, but then you did that times 12, I can't work that out, but that's probably like 100 workouts, right? Compared to 16.
I don't. You just
twice a week, 52 weeks. That's 104 workouts, right?
Yeah.
104 or 16. Yeah. It's just a no-brainer, isn't it? So set yourself up for success instead of setting yourself up for failure. And also, I know we spent a lot of time talking about the gym. Like, you absolutely don't have to go to the gym. I think that's one of the other things that people force themselves to do sometimes, especially in January, because it's like gyms are on offer, and you know, oh, it's only £100 for the year, and or I'll do this, or people buy certain things too, and it's like, this is going to be the thing, this is going to be the solution. You absolutely don't have to go to the gym, especially if you don't enjoy going to the gym.
No, and if you look at the facts of the number of people that are members of gyms, it's not the majority of the country. So I think the fact is that most people don't see gym, or don't enjoy gyms, or don't see them as part of their fitness thing. So yeah, you're right. There doesn't have to be. And certainly, like we said earlier on, if it's weight loss, again, you've got to look at your food anyway. So you can lose weight without. Oh, I would never say don't do any exercise, but you can, just by doing simple changes to your diet, you can lose weight quite steadily and easily. Yeah,
and just find something like at home or walking, like body, like just general movement in your day is so important. You know, if you aim to get your 10,000 steps in, that might burn, depending on your weight, 500, 600, 700 calories. That's a lot to burn every day. So if you suddenly could find the time to do that, then if you're looking to burn calories and lose weight, that's going to be a really good place to start. Yeah. And then who knows, you know, I've had so many people say they don't like the gym, but then they get a plan, they start to see results, they start to I don't know, build a bit of muscle and get some strength. And I've had clients that, and this is so funny, a guy called Kev, if he's watching this, I remember week 1 or week 2, maybe week 3 in our program, he's like, I'm never going to be the guy that goes to the gym. And he'll laugh if he's watching this. He's like, I'll never be the guy that goes to the gym. And I've had weeks where he's been in the gym 4 or 5 times a week. And now he's like, I never realized, well, I thought people were just showing off when they were training in front of the mirror. I never realized they were just looking at their technique. And I was like, yeah, well, some people are showing off, but 9 times out of 10, it should be to look at your technique and making sure your form is right. Now he's in front of the mirror checking his technique, so it can happen with the right plan, with the right technique. So you feel confident with what you're doing. You also see results.
Yeah. And I think if people are venturing into the gym, it's okay to feel, I think probably feel a little bit intimidated by it. Again, they're funny places, and you can walk in and say, if you don't feel confident in your body, how it is currently, it's okay and totally normal to walk in and see people who you think, God, they're in good shape, and feel a little bit kind of self-conscious by it. And I suppose there's 2 ways to look at that. You could hide away and you could feel jealous of that, or you could think, you know what, if they can do that, why can't I? If their physiology is very, very similar, that we are vastly more similar than different to the people that we're around. And it's, if you think, right, do you know what, if it might take me a bit longer, it might take me longer than I want it to, but my future self is important as well. And that future self will, if you put the time in and commit to it, and you say, like, be disciplined and start off gently, that future, you're going to look back and think, do you know what, I can't think back to that first time I walked in. Now I think back when I first started going to gyms, and similarly, I used to go to a gym in town, and it had this weird air kind of pneumatic gym circuit, and there was traffic lights. So basically, you sat on the machine, you looked at the traffic lights. When it was green, you went, and when it was orange, you could move, and then red, you stopped, and then you went again. And I went around this little circuit. I never dared go downstairs to where all the men were. I was hiding upstairs with everybody else, or a little bit scared, sat there kind of scared on these machines, because I was a bit intimidated by that.
It's understandable. I think the thing to remember is that everyone started in the same place. Like that dude that's probably ripped and massive 10 years ago, he didn't walk into the gym ripped and massive. So he probably started as like quite a small, normal guy, but has worked really hard over the years. So I think some people can be arseholes and dickheads. We all know that. But the majority of people that go to the gym are wanting to be better versions of themselves. So they've got like absolute respect for anyone that's coming into the gym. Like, I see anyone that's in the gym, I'm like, absolute respect to you.
Absolutely. And like, there's gym people, ask us questions. Especially people that look like, maybe they look like they know what they're doing. They'll absolutely love to give you advice. So if you say, what are you doing there? What exercise are you doing? They'll be like, they'll talk your hind legs off. And the other day I saw a guy trying to do deadlifts. So you have to be a bit careful. Kind of, I don't want to get involved, but if someone's doing something unsafe, I'll probably step in and say, I'm not sure that's safe.
Yeah, there's a way to do that. 100%.
Yeah, because you never show how they react. But anyway, he reacted really well. And he said, you know what, I was trying to do it because he was looking in the mirror. He was trying to get his back straight. I said, well, I gave him some tips. And you know what, as someone who's worked in gyms or has exercised, I love giving out advice. I mean, it's like, so yeah, ask, get over, again, that's maybe another hurdle to get over, but going, do you know what are you doing? Because you look in good shape, if that's okay with me to say. And I'd like to learn what you're doing. And they'll be more than happy to help. You
tell a dude in the gym or anyone in the gym that they're in good shape, they're like your best mate.
Yeah.
Like, that's, people want to hear that, don't they? It's like, yeah, well, I've been training for a long time. Like, I appreciate that. And, it's people like to help people. I think if you do it in the right way, because like that guy, like I talked about like at the beginning, like if he's not going to get any help, he's not going to get anywhere. And it's just going to be like massively frustrating. All right, guys, but this again has flown. So I think, to be honest, I think we've covered pretty much everything. We haven't covered everything, but I think we've covered enough to give people some thoughts and some takeaways and some things to definitely go and implement, and also some things to be aware of.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, kind of have a plan, track it, don't give up. That sounds so easy to say, don't give up, but it's like it's a matter of thinking, I'm not going to overload myself. it's important that you work on yourself, and this is important, and it's important enough for you to think, right, this is not just for January.
Yeah, and don't fall for those quick fix of detox and all that crap that's going to be peddled about, because if it all works, people will be detoxing left, right, and center and all these things. And our bodies are actually incredible at detoxing.
Exactly.
They're really incredible. And the more we look after them, the more incredible they are. You know, drinking the water, getting a good night's sleep, training in the gym or at home, whatever that is, those things are way better than any of these things that are going to be put out to you in January. So yeah, be aware of those.
Absolutely.
All right. Last thing. Me and Tom are doing a 6-week January shred. If you're interested or you want some more information about that, post in the comments or give us a like or send us a DM. We are all about long-term results. So it's called January Shred. You know, that's just a little bit of a title just to like hopefully get people's attention, but it's really not about losing weight as quick as possible and being that gym guy. It's just not how we work, but it's just a title basically. But it's about sustainable results, learning the basics, learning the habits, the sleep, and everything that you'll need to move forward. So if that's something you're interested in, give us a like or a DM, and we'll be happy to take it from there. I think we've given a huge amount of value there. Hopefully that gives people a little bit more help when it comes to the gym, because I think there's so much out there. It's just difficult to know who to listen to as well.
It's true. Like, if anyone's got any questions, both Michael and I DMs are open. Again, we love answering questions. So
we love it when people slide into our DMs.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right. Cheers, guys. We will see you all in the new year. Have a good new year, man.
Thanks, Michael.